Hi guys, I'm going to talk to you guys about drawing portraits. When you draw a portrait of someone, you obviously need a good reference or you need the person to sit very still in front of you. But there are general rules of drawing a face. Now, they don't apply to every single human that you look at. This is just general rules. So I want to talk to you about a couple of them. So I got a piece of paper and here's a number 2 pencil. So, of course, first of all, you're going to start with drawing of an oval. Okay, so you're going to draw an oval on your paper. Okay, you're going to draw an oval, and then you're going to divide your oval in half with like a plus sign. All right, so you've got halfway through the head and then halfway through the center, both directions, so that you have 4 quadrants to your portrait. The eyes, the first rule is the eyes, and this is the one that everybody generally has trouble with understanding. Like, they don't believe it for some reason. The eyes fall halfway from the top, the tippy top of your head to the bottom of your chin. Now, when we talk about the top of the head, this isn't the top of your forehead. It's the tip top of your head, as if you're a person standing up against the wall and mom or grandma or somebody's holding a ruler there to measure your height. It is the very tip top of your head. So from the top of your head to your chin, halfway down is about where the eyes fall. The eyes are shaped like an almond. You know, they're almond-shaped eyes, and you need to know that everyone has features that are not, like, you cannot hold a mirror down the middle and have them be exactly the same, okay? You can tell that this one is narrower, this one is a little wider, and I could try to fix it, but generally it's okay. So as far as the eyes go, they're halfway down. From there down to the chin, the other halfway down, okay, from there, this is where the nose falls, where your nose, your nostrils, okay, flare out from the tip top of the very bottom of your nose, okay? So there's the ball of your nose facing forward, and you've got 2 other little balls on the side that make up your nose. Then from the tip top of your nose back down to here again, that's your mouth. Believe it or not, that is where your mouth falls. And that is generally, for the most part, the bottom lip. So the bottom of your lip falls about there. So from there on up, you can draw the top of your lip. Now let's talk about the mouth and the eyes. How do I know how long to make this? This mouth that I just drew is a little bit too narrow, and I know this because when I look back up at my eyes, let's go back to the eyes now. You should be able to fit 5 eyes across the width of your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these, I mean, my eyes probably should be a little closer together based on this. And when I draw in my eyes, I will draw an iris and pupils. So the iris is the colored part of your eye, and the pupils are the black part of the eye. Another thing that's really important with eye drawing is that you leave a tiny little highlight. I have a really bad eraser on this pencil that I grabbed. But you have a tiny little highlight there where light hits in the eyes. I don't think you can see that on camera. The iris here, sorry, the pupil, the black of your eye, should line up with the corner of your mouth. So that's telling me that this mouth needs to come out a little bit wider to make it realistic for this face that I'm drawing, okay? The corners of the nose should line up with your tear ducts. So if you draw lines all over this thing, that gives you the proportions that you need, okay? So when I draw a portrait of a person, I generally start with the oval. I go halfway down, I put in my eyes first. Then halfway down from there is my nose, halfway down from there is my mouth. And then this bottom part is what makes up the chin. Now, you're looking at this and all this looks huge, okay? You're not putting hair on this person. Your hair, I mean, I don't know what kind of hairstyle they have, but when you add hair to the person, you generally get something that looks a little more realistic then, okay? Let's talk about ears. Ears line up with the top of your eye and the bottom of your nose. So somewhere in here is usually where the ear falls. Now, talk about ears, of course, there's exceptions in that too. With that said, if you throw your head back, like if a person is tilted back and you see more of the chin and the neck, of course, then the ears are going to shrink in size. Like you're going to see less of them. They're going to shrink up, okay? If the person tips forward, it gives you a little bit more of the tip of the ear. And like I said, this is general rule looking straight on a person's face. The size of the ears and the placement of the ears change on how they tip their head. So after I get this oval drawn and I get the general features put in, then I work into the shape of the face. And if you look at a person's face, of course, they have cheekbones and then a jawline, and it goes down into the chin. Okay, now I'm just making up a face here. Then you have a neck that comes down from that, and it's not a stick little neck like this. Okay, they come out generally on the side of the face, and then you've got some sort of a neckline and shoulders. I don't know who this is, made up face. Now, they look funny because they have no eyebrows. The eyebrows are made up because when you draw a nose, you have shadows on both sides of the nose. That's what makes up our nose, okay? And that shadow goes up into here where the eyebrows fall, okay? So in here where our eyebrows fall, you girls are good at shaping eyebrows. I am not. I've always left mine alone, still do. It was not fashionable in my day to have beautifully sculpted eyebrows, as long as they weren't bushy. You know, we plucked what was in the middle, but that was about it, and I still do that. So our eyebrows are placed there as such, okay? And that shadow is made up here. Now, I'm going to zoom into the eye a little bit and draw some detail here that I want to talk to you about. A couple more rules here. Now, as far as the eyes go, I don't know if I drew this detailed enough here, but your eyelashes, you have an eyelid, okay, so you have a line up above as well up on top. Your eyelashes on the top come out from the inside of the eye outward, okay, and they get tinier as they get closer to the pupils. As far as the bottom of the eye goes, I don't know if my pencil's sharp enough, your eyelashes do not come out of your eye. Your eyelashes come out of a tiny little water line down here. So there's another little line here where the lashes come out of. They don't go straight up and down, they come out on the outer banks. So this side goes to the left, and then the right, of course, goes to the right. That eye is way too big for this face that I drew. We have tear ducts in here, and you put a little shading in there. Your iris, the colored part of your eye, has little bitty fibers in it. If a person has brown eyes, it's really hard to see those fibers, but generally, everybody's got fibers. If you have lighter colored eyes, it's a lot easier to see. Don't forget that little bitty highlight. Okay, my hand keeps getting in the way, you can't see it. Another thing is the whites of the eyes are not pure white. You will have a little bit of shading from the lid cast onto the eye. Okay, so those are some tips. Another thing is the mouth. While I'm zoomed in, the bottom lip, okay, is always going to be lighter than the top lip because the way that the lights hit on this poor human, okay? If you have teeth open or a mouth open in your photograph, do not draw every individual little tooth. It's going to look like just a box of squares inside their mouth. That would look absolutely horrible. You will draw yourself a line of teeth, like it's just a row of teeth, and not every tooth in particular, just a band of white. Okay, your assignment is going to be drawing a celebrity. So looking at your picture, looking at your human, you're going to find yourself a reference photo. I chose Bob, not Bob the Builder, but Bob Ross. So here's a picture that I found of Bob Ross on the internet. I should have printed him in black and white. It really would be easier on you if you did print in black and white because our eye sees color. You know, we see peach, we see blue, we see browns. And if I print this in black and white, I can really see his features better because you're going to do this drawing just in pencil. I mean, if you want to put color into this, that's adding a whole new ball game, but I'm looking at true shading. If you want to shade with color, you can. You can still put value in there. Here's a drawing that I did of Bob Ross many, many years ago. And the actual original is at school, but luckily I had a digital copy of it, so I printed it out. All right, let's talk about a few things here versus my reference photo. Now, you can tell it's not perfect, but it's darn close. And I am pretty proud of this Bob Ross drawing. But this guy over here, okay, he generally does have one eye bigger than the other, okay? He's got a little dimple or dent between his eyes. He's got squinty little grin lines on either side of his face. He has a flaw on one side of his nose. Here's the teeth that I was talking about. I drew a band, and then I have tiny little lines that I went between with and shaded. Here, let me zoom it in. Okay, I did not draw the line all the way down. It's like a broken line, and I added a gum line there. Okay, As far as hair goes, we didn't even talk about that. When you draw and shade hair, you're generally just putting in darks and leaving areas light. Don't try to draw every little strand of hair, okay? So those are my tips on drawing of the face. When you turn in your project, because you are working from home, I don't know if you are going to find a drawing of a celebrity on the internet, I'm being honest here, and sending me a picture that somebody else drew of a celebrity, okay? So, to stop this, you're going to submit 2 or 3 photos of your drawing, meaning you're going to sketch it out, snap a picture, you're going to draw some more, snap a picture, draw some more, snap a picture. You will submit your final drawing, but if you do not have progress drawings showing me your progress, I'm not grading it. Like I'm not even counting it, so that I can see that you drew it. Now guys, I know this is hard. This is a very hard assignment. It's probably the hardest one that I'm giving you, okay? This is it. There's fun stuff after this, all the way up until May 22nd. But as far as this project goes, this is the hardest one. Yeah, we all want it to look like the real celebrity. We want to achieve that likeness. But I'm telling you, many, many times I draw people and it doesn't really look like them. This is my son, Zach, okay? I drew him quite a few years ago. He was sitting in his chair playing video games, and I drew him, and I was very happy with the shading, of course, of the shirt and the hair and the skin and all that. But I didn't really, it doesn't look like my kid. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really establish likeness. I know you don't know Zach, so you're just going to have to trust me on that. Here's another one I did of my niece in a project that I did in class. My niece is a freshman in high school, and this girl here looks like she's 5 or 10 years older than that. So, yeah, again, I did not establish likeness. I tried my best, and what I'm looking for is that soft shading, okay? So, again, shading. With the pencil, we've done so much shading in here on different objects and still life objects. We haven't really on skin. Skin is soft. Skin is going to require a lot of rubbing. I know you don't have blending sticks at home, but you do have your finger. You can wrap your finger in Kleenex. If you have Q-tips, try those. Those are things or hints that you could try. So, I don't know, give this a try, give it a whirl, and we'll see what you can come up with. I promise you I will give you grace. If you draw a celebrity and it doesn't look like the celebrity, it's okay. It's not worth that many points on your project. It's more about, did you get the facial features correct? Do Bob's eyes, corner of his mouth, line up with his pupils? Do his ears, although you can't see them, line up with the nose and hopefully the top of the eyes? You know, who knows? Or little things like the eyelashes coming out. You know, I can tell if you really learned something or not. I really do miss you guys. I know I'm not. I wish I was in the classroom with you. I miss you very, very much. Bye.